Mr. Toastmaster and Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. My job tonight is to give you a brief evaluation about what's been going on tonight at this meeting. It's interesting that you've got an evaluator for a workshop there, which I think is a very good idea. Well done to the President for that. And part of the evaluation, what I like about Toastmasters, that there's lots of evaluation and feedback. And I like that because to develop and improve the quality of speaking and what you're doing, and to get a feedback, especially from a stranger like me, to this club, it's interesting. It's something to take away. For me as well, I've learned a lot of things from this session, and for you also to see, to look at what you're doing, how you're doing well, what can you do better. Generally, I could turn around and say that everything here tonight is done very well, considering all the little mishaps with the program that you had with not turning up. And you covered that very well. There was no real issue with the program. Everything went, in fact, look at the time. You're well within the time that you programmed your program for. So that's a good start. The venue. I love the venue. When I first came here, I thought, oh dear, we're going to have a problem with acoustics. I could hear the church bell out there. And I thought, okay, it's going to be difficult. When Bob started speaking, the bell was going, and I'm thinking, wow, that's quite amazing. It all fits in beautifully. So in terms of acoustic, everybody's voice will be projected very well. And I could hear everybody quite clearly, except a couple of people. When it wasn't the acoustic problem, it's just their own personal voice, which I'll come to in a minute. The President, he introduced the meeting very well. I know Tony. Tony came and did an evaluation for us. He did a wonderful evaluation at our club, which is Bloom Street. And I hope I can do half as good as what he's done at our club. Tony was very warm, welcoming. And what I did like about Tony is that he talked about smiling. Now, when you're speaking, smiling through your talk is one of the most important things you could do. And he did that very well. And I like that phrase, viral smile. Let's have a viral smile. And the whole team tonight actually did very well. Everybody that came up on stage, about one or two, were actually smiling. And I sort of want to quickly jump on to what Bob was doing today. Now, Bob was given a master class about how public speaking should be done. Bob showed you a lot of things. He was actually smiling through his speech. He was gesturing. His voice pitches varied at different levels. He engaged everybody in the audience. And everybody, the person at the back there, the person at the front, was part of his speech. And everybody heard it loud and clear. Now, there's a lesson there for all of us. If you want to be a good speaker, that's what you should be doing now. I know Bob is an experienced speaker, he's done it many years. But he talked about practicing, not so many words, but he mentioned about practicing, how he prepares his speeches. There's a lesson for us there too. You don't have to do as much as he does, but it's there. For you to be good, to be up here, that's going to be the key thing. Once you're up here, you're going to talk to your audience. Talk to your audience. Smile, laugh, talk to them. They're interested in what you've got to say. So make your speech interesting. And that's what Bob was doing throughout this entire workshop. He made us laugh, he made us think, we heard what he was saying, and everything he said, we could take it home, right? Look at what we're doing, and put it into practice, and come back up here. Here is the most important part of being a Toastmaster. Everybody has an opportunity to come here, no matter what role you have in the Toastmasters meeting. If you're going to come up here, make that role exciting. Even the timekeeper will be exciting. Any evaluators that come up, it will be exciting. Your speech will be exciting. But once you're here, take charge. Right? The audience wants to hear you, want to hear what you're saying. And tonight, most of us did that. That wonderful thing what the topic master did with all the gadgets here. And people came up with wonderful things. And I was quite amazed. I've never come across something like that before, where someone brought their stuff from home and said, look, sell this. And I thought, how is they going to do it? But everybody came up here with confidence and trying to sell the things going. And it's wonderful. And Peter came up here, did his bit, and then he gave the evaluation. Now, that is a very difficult job, to evaluate 6 people and then plus you're taking part in it, you come up here almost immediately and gave a very clear, concise report on what actually happened. It was quite good. I have to take my hat up to you for that. You did that very well. And the recommendations were fine. It was humorous. The most important thing was it's humorous. It made us laugh. Yet there was the critique in it, but the critique wasn't deprecating. The critique was, it was pleasant, it was nice. I can think about it, I can take it away, and that's what I need to do. Any evaluation you're doing, it needs to be looked at and analyzed so that you can develop from it. And I think what we did there, we did that very well. But on a couple of things with people that came up here, I was a bit concerned with our Toastmaster. He probably was a victim in his past life or something. He's not standing here. He's addressing the congregation. The pulpit is down here. Well, okay, I'm not going to be critical of that particular thing what you're doing. But this is a stage. A Toastmaster should be a fun person. He's going to inject a lot of energy into the audience. He needs to sort of be out there, get into the audience, talk to the audience. Don't hide behind a lectern. You're not preaching. You want the audience to be engaged in between when you address all the speakers, the clapping and all that. That's what your job is. You take charge of that meeting. Don't let other people tell you what you should do. Yes, we might get people. Don't worry about that. But it's your meeting. You take charge. You decide what's going on in the program. Don't hide behind this. Come here and be alive again. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you got the better than wrong.
I hope so, but I thought you felt very comfortable there. Timekeeper. The timekeeper, he came up here and he whispered, and I was a little bit, I was sitting at the back there, and I thought to myself, why is he whispering? Why is he looking at his notes? Drop the notes, look at the audience, face the audience, and say everyone. Hammer home. Timekeepers, though I know it's a very simple job, but you can make it interesting. Make it interesting. Look at the audience. Talk about something to do with time. Give a little speech about time. How to do time, and something like that, But make it interesting. And stop looking at your notes. There's no need to look at your notes. Right? Don't be afraid to look at the audience. The minute you look down, you start speaking downwards, then you lose the audience. I couldn't hear you because you're looking down. But other than that, when you have to give your report, come up from the chair, take a walk, come up to the stage, because this is where you need to be when you're going to announce anything, on stage. To be a good, competent speaker, you can only be one, and you stand here and deliver, not anywhere at the back there, here. Toastmasters is about being here to become a competent speaker. So don't be afraid. Any opportunity you can get to come up here, please come up here. And no matter how terrible you think you are, you only get better every time you come up here. Mr. President, thanks.